Hey, my name is Nicholas Garrett. Since 2020, I've lost over 210 pounds, and I'm going to be answering your questions from Instagram, ranging from questions about weight loss to somebody asking me, how big is it? And can you make it clap? And did it hurt when you fell from heaven? It did. It was extremely painful, but thankfully, I'm on creatine. I'm also on tren, so I have recovered. So let's get straight into some of these questions. How tall are you? I am 5'8". I was 5'7" when I was 16 years old. I am now 20, so I'm guessing that I've grown an inch. If I haven't, then I'm cooked. Have you ever had a health problem that was a wake-up call for you? So thankfully, I never went to the doctor and got told that I had a specific health problem that needed to be fixed. But when I was 15 years old, I went to the doctor to talk about my depression and my anxiety. And he basically just talked about my weight because I weighed like 400 pounds. And he told me that I needed to lose weight, that I was going to die of a heart attack if I continued, that I probably wouldn't make it to 30. And I'd like to say that that was a wake-up call for me, but because I'd been living that way so long, just eating junk food, playing video games all day, I literally lived inside Fortnite. I didn't even care. I didn't even take what he said in. I was sort of just like, yeah, that's not going to happen to me, whatever. Like, fuck you. I don't want to talk to you. And I left. The whole weight loss thing was just completely my decision. It was because I just really, really hated being overweight. I hated how lonely that I felt. I hated feeling like a complete monster, isolated from the world. And I knew that I was never really going to have like a good future, like a proper life if I continued that way. So one day I was just like, you know what? Screw it. I'm just going to try. I didn't know what to do, but I tried. And that's the most important thing with weight loss, It's a lot of trial and error. It's a lot of trying and failing. But if you keep trying, eventually, you're going to get there. What did the people close to you say after you started working out? So I didn't necessarily start working out as in like lifting weights and going to the gym, but I started going for really long walks in the nighttime. In the very beginning, I couldn't even walk around the block around my houses. It would feel like my back was breaking. I'd get tears in my eyes. It was that bad. But I kept pushing on, doing slightly more and more walking over time and over time. And eventually got to the point where I could walk for like 1 hour, and then I ended up going for like 2 hours. And yeah, my family were pretty shocked. They were like, wow, this is a really big change. Yeah, apart from like just noticing a big change, there was no like crazy reaction. There was no like, oh my God, like, it was just like, yeah, wow, Nick's changing a lot, I guess. Do you count macros? And if so, does it make a difference with energy and feeling full? So yeah, I do count macros. I try to aim for around 250 grams of protein per day. I try not to go over 300 grams because that would just be totally overkill for my body weight. I am 190 pounds. And then I aim for around 40 grams of healthy fats. And then I fill the rest with carbohydrates. So as many calories as I've burned that day, whatever's left, fill it with carbohydrates. That's usually around 250 grams of carbohydrates. And yeah, so when you're eating foods that don't have many nutrients, that don't have many macronutrients, you're just going to feel more lethargic, more tired. You're going to have more like crashes throughout the day. If you're eating stuff like chocolate and stuff that has like no nutritional value in it, or very little, you're just going to feel sluggish. You're not going to feel your best self. You might get like a bit of brain fog. At least that's what I've experienced. But when you start eating around 80 to 90% whole foods, you have so much more energy. You feel healthier. Your skin gets a lot better. A lot of your acne is going to clear up, and you're going to feel a lot healthier. How to make food with more volume so I can eat more food for fewer calories. So one quick tip that I've got for you is, if you're making oatmeal, what you want to do is fill it with around 40 grams of oats, around 400 ml of water in the bowl, put it in the microwave for around 4.5 minutes. And you want to make sure that it doesn't bubble over. So you want to take it out, give it a stir, put it back in, so on and so on. Oh, bollocks. Mix some sweetener in it or some protein powder with it. You're going to get a full bowl of oats, hot oatmeal, for around 150 calories. If you add the protein powder, 250 calories. A full bowl is extremely filling, so that is one way that you can volumize your food. You can do the same with your cream of rice if you take that supplement. I think that's a supplement, or maybe it's a food, I don't know. Rice, basmati white rice is what I personally choose. It is very high in volume for quite a small amount of calories. The easy cook version is 130 calories for like a very big bowl of it. But yeah, eating a lot of complex carbohydrates like brown pasta and rice and all of that, very filling, very volumizing. What I also do is add a bunch of lettuce to all of my meals, or at least most of them. And also mushrooms are around 20 calories in like an entire packet. So if you fry them up, put them on pretty much any meal they'll go with, and you're going to have a whole load of volume for around 20 calories, which is amazing. And basically, if you're not sure what volume eating is, basically you're being able to eat more food for less calories. For example, you could eat one egg, just a random just a random comparison, right? You could eat one egg, 65 calories, and like one egg is going to be like that. Or you could have an entire bowl of lettuce for 20 calories. Now, of course, nobody wants to eat an entire bowl of lettuce, but you can find foods similar like konjac noodles, mushrooms, and other things, and you can add lettuce to your meals to volumize them. That way your meal feels bigger and you're going to be eating it for longer while you're only adding around 20 calories. After losing weight, does it really grow? Well, to be honest, I think it would be better if I showed you rather than told you. So yeah, I'd say it grows. Do you know what? I'm gonna keep my t-shirt off. But in all actuality, because I actually have quite a lot of people ask me this and I've never really answered it. No, your Garrett doesn't grow when you lose weight, but because you've got less fat around that area, it is going to appear bigger. That is like the most embarrassing thing to answer, but I feel like a lot of people actually want to know the answer. So no, your dick's not going to grow, but it's going to appear bigger. Fuck me, did I actually just answer that? Will I keep it in? I don't know. All right, next question. How do I stop eating feelings, including period week? I've lost 30 kg, but it still feels not enough. Okay, so first of all, congratulations on losing 30 kg, because that is absolutely fucking crazy. Good job. Secondly, when you say it feels not enough, if you look up the healthy weight for your height and you are within that range, then please don't over push yourself to lose even more and more and more weight. I know that online the beauty standards are very high for men and for women. People still pick holes in me even though I've lost 210 pounds. They'll bully me online for my teeth. They'll say that I have wonky teeth and shit. You're never going to be perfect, and as much weight as you lose, as much muscle as you gain, you're probably never going to feel like you are your like ideal version of yourself, and other people are never going to see you as perfect. They're always going to pick flaws in you. But as long as each day you're working on being your best self, then that's the most important thing. And being your best self doesn't necessarily mean being skinnier, okay? So please, if you are a healthy weight, don't push yourself to lose even more weight, especially not to the point where you're underweight. But to answer your question, how do I stop eating feelings? If you're on about eating your feelings away, try to focus on finding different ways to deal with your emotions. If you're feeling angry, upset, or anything like that, you could try journaling. Getting the thoughts out of your head and getting them onto paper can be extremely helpful. It definitely helps me. And now, I've got to say that I know it's easier said than done, all right? Actually, picking up that journal and writing when you're in a shit mood, I know that it's hard. Sometimes I'll think to myself, all right, I'm feeling like kind of nervous about this thing, I'm going to write about it. And then I just procrastinate and I don't do it. So look, I know this easier said than done, but even if 3 times out of 10 you can get yourself to journal instead of eating, that's progress. And that way, over time, you're slowly going to turn that 3 times into 4 times and into 5 times. And then over time, you're slowly going to get better at not eating because of your feelings. I notice you pack meals with salad and veg. Any advice for someone who doesn't eat much? I struggle with the texture of certain foods, especially veg. So I'm guessing that your question is, how can you get more vegetables in while you don't like eating vegetables because of the texture of them? I'm guessing that's your question, hopefully. So the best advice I can give you there is maybe take a multivitamin or take a greens powder. Now, one multivitamin that I can recommend is by Optimum Nutrition. They have a women's multivitamin and they have a man's multivitamin. I am sponsored by them, which means that if you use code Garrett20, that's GARRATT 20, you will get 20% off anything that you order, ranging from protein powder to creatine to their multivitamin. But I can personally vouch for their multivitamin as I take it myself, and I don't promote any products that I don't personally believe in. What do people think of you now compared to 2020? So I feel like a lot of my family have sort of gotten used to it by now, but especially when I first lost all of the weight, I was always, I suppose you could say the talk of the town or whatever. Whenever there was a family gathering, everybody would be like, oh my God, Nick, you've lost so much weight. Oh my God, you look like a completely different person. Oh my God, can you teach me how you lost weight, blah, blah. So people were very shocked and, they thought it was amazing. They were very happy for me. And my very close family members, they kind of saw the progress happen over time. So it wasn't an, oh my God sort of moment when they saw me. But, they were very pleased, very happy, and very, very shocked. I think overall, the best way to summarize how people think of me now compared to 2020 is they're extremely shocked, and I imagine they probably view me as a completely different person because I feel like a completely different person. Okay, so those were all of the questions that I was asked over on Instagram. Thank you for watching. I hope this video was helpful. If it was, smash the subscribe button, smash the like button, leave a comment, and I just undid my watch. But yeah, thanks for watching.